Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make a hard trance bass, and I'm also going to show you how to make UK hardcore bass, because we sort of make that first before we get onto the hard trance bass. So here we go. I'm going to open up Vital, and Vital is a free VST, so you've got no reason not to get it. I'll put the link for that in the description. So this is just the default preset that loads up when you first open up Vital. It's just going to be a basic saw wave like this. And there's my kick playing there as well. Yours should sound like that, and if it doesn't sound like that, it's probably because you're not using the same notes as me. So I'm on A4. So I'll play it with the kick as well while we're working. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is drop this 0 down to a -24. So that's going to be 2 octaves lower. Already we're getting quite a nice deep sound there. And then next I'm going to go over to the phase where it says 100%, and I'm going to drop that down to 0. Because that's phase randomization, and I don't want any random phase. I want every note to be exactly the same. Okay, and then next we're going to go and do the exact same on oscillator 2. So just click it on with this little button, drop it down to -24, and phase down to 0. So that probably won't make any difference at the moment because they're exactly the same and they're on top of each other. So next what we're going to do is get the other 0 on the opposite side of the pitch controls. And we're going to turn this one up to about 15 and the other one down to about -15. Doesn't have to be exact. So now we're starting to get that detuned kind of sound. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is get where the phase says 180, and I'm going to start moving this while I'm playing, and I'm going to try and find the sweet spot that I like it on. So about here we're getting that kind of UK hardcore sound. So if you want a UK hardcore bass, you can just use that. But I'm going to keep going with the phase, and I'm going to just keep dragging it down. Okay, and that's the sort of sound that I'm looking for. Alright, so that would work quite well as a bass on its own. But I'm going to take it a little bit further, and I'm going to turn the filter on at the bottom here. And we need to make sure we've got oscillator 1 and 2 ticked here. And then I'm going to turn the resonance all the way off, and that's this one here. So you can see it's making that little spike in the wave, like in the shape there. So I'm going to turn it all the way down to 0. And I'm going to turn the cut off all the way down to 0 too. So that shouldn't make any sound now. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to envelope 2, and I'm going to drag that down to the cut off. So now this envelope is controlling the cut off, like making it go up and down. As you can see, like the graphic moves. Okay, so the reason for doing this is we can now control the cutoff a lot better. It's got this envelope, so what it's doing is the cutoff goes right the way up to the top for a short while, and then it shoots back down. So if I turn sustain all the way off, then we've just got like a ramp going down. And now I can control the length with the decay. So if I turn it all the way off, then you'll be able to see what I mean as I bring it up. So having quite a short decay gives us that nice bouncy sort of sound, compared to having it fully open. And we can also control the curve of this with this little point here. So you can hear when I'm turning the filter on and off there, the difference that it's made, having this filter. So it's up to you whether you want the filter or not, but it does give you quite a lot of control there to give you like a variety of different sounds. Okay, so that's about it really for the bass, but there's one more thing I'm going to show you is the effects, just to bring it out that bit more. I'm just going to turn on the compressor. Okay, so with this being a bass, I don't really want the highs getting boosted, so I'm just going to drag the high right back down to 0. Or thereabouts anyway. Okay, and then all that I want to be focused on is the low and the middle bands here, and it's just these bits at the top that you can drag. So this one's going to be the bass and this one's going to be the mid. So you should be able to hear that that's really boosting the bass there, and we can do the same with the mid. So what we need to be careful of is the volume meter going into the red there. If it does that, we can just turn it down with this little white arrow. Okay. And then lastly, I'm just going to put this onto a mixer track. So I'll put it on track 5 because that's free. And then I'm just going to check on my mixer that it's not going louder than my kick, because I don't want the bass to be louder than the kick. Yeah, so that's quite good actually. And you could take this further and add your own effects on here. So like I could add a Fruity Parametric EQ too, and that's going to give me a better look at the frequencies. And usually I like to roll off the extreme lows just to make it a bit cleaner. And of course you can boost or reduce any of these bands to shape the sound a bit more. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.